Our pre-Thanksgiving edition, and with the holiday gift-giving season kicking off in earnest sometime tomorrow at 9 p.m., at least that's when Black Friday begins. Now, it begins on Thursday when you're supposed to be home with your family.
Stuffed.
Napping, right, sleeping it off. We were going to get this gift-giving season off to a flying start today by simply talking about Dave Sims' hat collection and the great lids, the great chapeaus he offers at dsims.com. Instead, we got some news to talk about as well. There's a little taste of Dave's website. They're really awesome hats. And for a limited time, when you enter the code HOLIDAYS2014, you get 45% off. That's just for our hot stove viewers, we're told. Dave, that's very generous of you to allow that to our viewers only. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, fellas. Good to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity here to spend some time with you.
We were just going to talk hats with you, and then Kyle Seager signed a 7-year, $100 million extension, and we're forced to ask you about the news up in the Pacific Northwest. This is a huge deal.
Yes, it is. He gets no discount, but that is a great signing. Here's a kid. He's one of the hardest-working kids. You've seen him develop over the last few years. He was a guy when he came out of North Carolina. Dustin Ackley was the it guy, and Seager was like a real nice player. And Ackley's come along a little bit on a slower pace, and he's playing in the outfield. But Seager, as you know, he's won the Gold Glove this year, made the All-Star team. You know, hit 20-plus homers again, drove in a ton of runs, and he is a big part of what we're doing out in Seattle. He's been great.
Yeah, Simsy, when you talk about last year's signing with Robinson Cano, it looked like the Mariners said, okay, we're going all in here.
Right.
And no lack of trying. I think they tried to add more with him. It just didn't work out. Now you lock up Seager. But what's next on the horizon for them? Because if you don't sign anybody else, you're still the same team. You just have two very valuable pieces that you've locked up.
Yeah, no question about it. And I was talking to Jackson Renzick recently, and he says, hey, we're out there pitching. Clearly the need, right-handed power bat. And I think if you add a power bat to Cano and Seager and all the other young guys we have, and then the other thing that you know, the Mariners are making their name on pitching. The starting core has been great, led in ERA. The relief core was outstanding. So I think that it's pretty obvious to everybody, a power bat or two power bats, and we're talking about a team that's going to be right there. I mean, that we're one game short of tying for a play-in game. Had that disastrous final road trip. 11 games where we started at home, left home, went to Anaheim, to Houston, to Toronto, and went 4-7, and that wound up costing us. But it was a great playoff run this year, it really was. It was a ton of fun.
Now, Simsy, you mentioned that pitching staff that you have, and with that pitching staff, there's a couple young guys that probably could be moved to maybe bring back a power bat, or is there a better option maybe in one Nelson Cruz for, say, example, that's a right-handed bat you don't have to give up anybody for?
Yeah, personally speaking, I'd love for Nelly to come over because he and Cano couldn't be. They're better. They are best friends, and I don't know what the latest is on that. But for my money and for our needs, Cruz really fits the bill. And now you'd hate to have to give up a Taijuan Walker, James Paxton, because the Taijuan in his last outing that was in Toronto, and it got us a win in that final series, and he was just dominant. That 95-plus fastball. The changeup was really good. The cutter was good. And James Paxton, had some injury problems last year. Big left-hander. These are two guys that you can go to war with for the next 10 years or so. I'd hate to have to give up one of those guys. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Cruz is a straight-up free agent would right now would not hurt us in that pitching department.
I feel like they've, and I'm going back about a decade here, and this was all done under a previous administration, but because the Mariners had some really high-profile, really expensive free agent hitter whiffs with Adrian Beltre and Richie Sexson.
Right.
I feel like that set him back not only while those guys were up there struggling, but in subsequent markets. I feel like there was a carryover effect. There were power hitters that kind of shied away from Seattle. There was perhaps a situation within the front office where they shied away from power-hitting free agents. Is that over now with Cano going up there and having some success?
Matty, I sure hope it is. And I think the fact that Cano, he's such a magnet, he's such a good guy with everybody, and particularly with the Hispanic players, they're going to say, hey, man, if Robbie can go up there and have another, continue his all-star run, his run to the Hall of Fame, I can come up there too. If you're a power guy, Art, you might lose a few home runs. But I tell you what, if you're a power hitter, you're a power hitter. I mean, the 01 Mariners hit a ton of home runs. I think that club or a club subsequently right after that set a record for home runs. If you're good, if you're a power hitter, you can leave the yard at Safeco Field. And a couple of years ago, the fences were brought in. And here's the other thing. You know what? If you get a lead with this pitching staff, look out, man, because I thought the bullpen was just the best I've seen in my years up in Seattle. I mean, and it was obviously one of the 1, 2, 3 best in all of baseball. But I think you make a great point in terms of that carryover. I mean, Beltre came in, he had 49, I think it was, down in with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Lost a bunch up in Seattle. Still played, Gold Glove caliber third base, but it can't hurt you. But I'm telling you, I'm thinking that tide is changing because it's as you guys know, it's a great place to live. It's a great place to play ball. And the fans, I'm telling you, the fans are ready to put some big love on you right now. I'm telling you, it's a hungry fan base.
Dave, let's talk a little bit about King Felix, up at the top end of that rotation.
Yep.
When you watch him every day live and you get to see him pitch, when you're watching him on TV, look, he doesn't blow up the radar guns. He's not throwing 97, 98 like some of these guys are, but it just looks like his presence and what he does on the mound, he commands the ball game. It looks like when he goes out there and steps on the bump, he means business, and he's going to go out there and win the game.
Billy, spot on. I mean, and we always, in the great Pacific Northwest, everybody tweets, Facebooks, you see each other in the ballpark, Happy Felix Day. I mean, and it's an event. It is an event when he comes out there. Yes, he's not blowing to 98, 99, but I tell you what, that changeup of his is as devastating a pitch as there is in all of baseball. I mean, here's a guy that competes. He's an unbelievable teammate in terms of, just working and dealing with the guys and treating everybody well. He's a leader. He and Cano are the two alpha dogs in the ball club. It is great to have Felix every 4 or 5 days in the rotation. He is a spectacular pitcher, and that run that he had this year was at 16 games, 7 innings, 2 runs or less. Hey, congratulations to Corey Kluber, but, boy, I thought Felix was going to win it this year.
I would also say that a part of that, Dave, is the marketing department up there with the Mariners has done a great job kind of, capturing the magic of those every 5-day appearances at home that Felix makes. And it's not just having a great player, it's having everybody ready for that day. The king in his court stuff, I mean, they do a magnificent job when he pitches. Hey, before we let you go, we want to ask you about what your football assignment might be coming up. Are you working Thanksgiving Day, or do you have to, or do you get to wait till Sunday?
I am working. I got a basketball doubleheader at the Garden tonight, and then I got a beauty on Sunday. I got New England at Green Bay. Looking forward to that. That's a heck of a game, man.
Yeah, you got the possible one of about 6 potential Super Bowl matchups in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Roger that.
Dave Sims joining us on Hot Stove. Again, the website, his outstanding hatwear collection, dsims.com. This isn't just a novelty thing. These are legit. And enter the holiday code HOLIDAYS2014 for 45% off for the holiday season. Simsy, thanks for the phone call. Best of luck up in New England this weekend. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much, and you guys be well. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Dave. Dave Sims joining us for the TV voice of the Seattle Mariners.